of St. Andrew, November 30th, 2019. Yeah, you're going to hear a whole bunch of windshield wipers in the past. And guess what? I was totally unaware that it was going to rain today. Didn't even look like it this morning when I left to get here. So, I'm not wearing a jacket. Warm up. I was just talking to a great friend about how it takes me about 5 minutes of wasted video to get warmed up. And then the content is still questionable. How do you quit smoking? I had a friend ask me. She's asked me several times, how did you quit smoking? How did I quit smoking? This is going to sound strange. But a long time ago, I had a friend whose husband basically suicided by cop. Anyway, the point: how do you quit smoking? So I watched a video that was talking about this, and I already forget the acronym. That wow, I'm great at this. There's no way. That's just not the way I do it. Anyway, so it's already been 1.5 minutes. I had a good friend whose husband suicided by cop. He had a lot of drug problems. He was a spiritual man, but he also had a pretty serious addictive past. He had a son. That son is probably well into his teenage years now, and he's been without his father since he was a baby. And we watched a show, and I don't remember the name of the show, but it was a fiction show, but it was about addiction. And I only remember one scene where the actor says, they're like talking about what addiction's like. And even though it had something to do with intervention, it was not that show Intervention, which is like basically a documentary about like having an intervention. This was a fiction show. But the guy was like talking about the realization of an addict. And the realization of an addict basically coming to this one realization that if you truly are going to beat this addiction, it's this realization that is underneath every sin that we run to. The sins that we run to are the ones that kill. Anything of the flesh, say, well, this feels good, but using smoking as this example, you have to come to the realization, and most people still don't like to admit this, but in that show, it was like every addict, regardless of what they choose, the drug, sex, the drink, they have to come to the realization that they know it hurts and they know it's bad, and that's why they do it, because in your mind you wish you were dead. And what he says is he's sitting there, and I think the actor is like shooting up or something, is you have to really wrestle with that. Wow, that's why I'm doing this. That's exactly why I'm choosing to do something that I know is bad for me, because I'm in pain. But sin, in all of its different forms, does not mask pain. It is not a cure. It is not a band-aid. It is a multiplier of pain. It spiritually deepens and scars your pain with a more lasting, damaging effect. So the more years you go smoking, the more years you start to say, I just can't stop. start with this realization. I am addicted. And because I am addicted, I have to ask myself why. Why do I know that this is hurting me and yet I still do it? Why do I know that this is shattering my existence and I still do it? Because I want to die. St. Andrew, I found out today, was a great evangelizer. He brought more than just his brother Simon, who became Peter. He brought a young boy who had the loaves and fishes. And I can't wait to go home and reread that. But bringing people to Jesus, as my patron saint did, I have to recognize that there are two kinds of death. There are a glorified self-death, and there is a suicide self-death. I don't want to die because I'm in pain. I would like to give up my life for my friends because I'm in love. Sadly, the addict in me was so lonely, so hurt, that I just wanted it all to end. And then I learned there is no end. There's no such thing as nothing, and we are not alone. We either remain in eternity with all our sins, separate from God, but not alone, or we spend eternity united in love. With our friends, the ones to which we laid down all of our sins. How did I quit smoking? I used to say I had to do it every day, which is true. An addict has to take it one day at a time. But knowing that those two kinds of deaths between my head and my heart, and a great teacher tell me it's a great distance between your mouth and your ears. And the devil's always trying to exist somewhere in the middle. And when we hear truth, we don't want to hear it. And when we speak the truth, we don't want to say it. But what do we need to know to quit smoking? God is the power, the majesty, the might. And though we are powerless, we only have to die to the urge to die. All those fleshy things that we lust after. Death is not our God. There is only life. And we should choose that life. That's how you quit smoking. Die to the urge and give up the flesh so that you can live everlasting. And you get power. But you have to pursue it one day at a time.